Human Services is one of many pathways here at Northtown. Today you will hear from only a few of our Human Services teachers. They will talk about their pathways and their room changes. Over to you, Dollinger.
My name's Amanda Dollinger, and I teach broadcast journalism and speech and debate. For broadcast and debate, we were kind of put into a pathway, and ultimately that decision was thinking about human services and the different jobs that could lead to. You have jobs like being a journalist or being a reporter, and then also for debate, doing law or any kind of like public speaking type of official. Those are careers that you could be in. But our electives, everything that I teach, basically any student in any pathway could take those courses.
I'm Mrs. Unsel, originally part of the health and wellness pathway. We had our initial meetings way back when we were in quarantine, and so we did those all virtually, and so I was part of the health and wellness pathway then, and then I taught Spanish and wasn't really in a pathway. But this year Dr. Kalandi approached me and asked me if I would want to do some of the intro to human services pathways, and I researched a little bit about what human services is all about, and that really spoke to me, and so I was happy to join them.
Hi, I'm Miss B. I am with the Human Services Pathway. I teach English Language Arts, and I sponsor our Schools, Genders, and Sexualities Alliance. I chose Human Services because it falls into a very nice role within the English Language Arts curriculum. All literature relates to stories, and all stories relate to people. So I figured building connections through storytelling and through love of language and communication was the best way to reach through human services.
I teach journalism and interpersonal communications. I like that pathway because it's all human interaction based, which is something that I think is a real strength of mine and something that I enjoy.
Well, I was really sad at first because I really loved my old classroom. Loved it. And then when I got in this room, it felt so much bigger, and I was in Old Main and it was nice and cozy, and now I'm in B building and it just felt so big and echoey, but I love the space. My kids move around a lot. I brought a rug from home. I have a lamp, and so I love it. It's also really quiet over here, which is a pro and con. So one of the biggest advantages of the room shifts is that we all, at least on this side of the hallway, we're all human services, and so if I need to check in with a kid or if I need to check in with a teacher about a kid, they're really close, and we all kind of cycle through the same students all day, and we see the same students in the hallway, so I think it's been really helpful.
I did not have to move very far, so my room change is pretty positive. I am always happy to work with my fellow teachers, and I love whom I'm around, and I feel like my room is a little more available, a little more open, so I am happy to let anyone in at any time. It has been wonderful being able to meet with our pathway teachers. I get a lot of new perspectives. We share a lot of the same students, so if we have concerns or if we need to reach out to help support a student, it is very helpful. We can also do a little more cross-curricular work, which is exciting because language arts applies to so many other disciplines and human services, so that we can kind of collaborate together and see if we can create larger projects that better impact and help our community.
Well, the room changes didn't affect me very much because, I teach mostly journalism, and the rooms that we're in were designed for those classes, so we didn't move. It's interesting seeing where people are. People I used to see all the time, I now never see. So it's been an odd transition. For me, I can see being close to them helping. As we get further into the school year, I know that there will be, or the idea, a goal is to try to have collaborative projects across classes. And I think that once that starts up, it'll be really helpful to be near those teachers.
I have loved getting to know all the teachers that have moved into our hallway a little bit better so far this year, and I think it's a really good dynamic. So I'm excited to have them close by and getting to have conversations with new colleagues that I often didn't get to see all the time. It's really helpful to be close to the people in your pathway as far as planning. Miss Pritchard and Mr. Aubrey and I already have like the sliding door, so we utilize that a lot and are able to like plan for our journalism courses. But then it is really nice to have the other teachers right across the hall to kind of know what they're teaching as far as like tech core classes or what is happening within the human services pathway, so that we can try to help utilize that. Maybe something that they're learning in English is something that we've also talked about in debate or are going to talk about in debate, and so it helps us reinforce that.